Hi. Today we're going to continue working on your COLLAGRAPH printing plates. The subject matter is the retro robots. You can see I actually went back and added a few more shapes on top of different things to give it even more texture. Make sure before you do the step today, because today we're going to be making some prints, one of the things you need to really make sure is that you've glued all of your shapes flat. You don't want any of them to flip up. And remember, Mrs. Bartos just did this on an old cereal box, so if that's all you have, that's fine. I'm all finished with this. Everything's glued nice and tight. The next thing you're going to do, we're going to be making some prints. And you should be able to get 2 prints with one computer printer paper. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this printer paper and I'm just going to lay half of it on top. I can kind of feel where it is and feel the texture. And I'm going to be using crayons that do not have paper on them because I'm going to use them flat. So I'm going to take a color and I'm just going to rub it. One hand is holding on to the paper and the printing plate so it doesn't move. My other hand is going to be going up and down, just like this. You kind of have to move your hands a little bit. And you can see my robot is starting to show up. So make sure you get the whole thing. Don't just do part of it and say you're finished. Do over here. Ah, that broke. And over here. And you can see I've got this really cool robot in red. Sometimes I like to do more than that. You can just leave your red one as is if you want, and then you can make another one. So I have room here to make another. I'm just going to lay this on top and I'm going to make another one. This time I'm going to start with this color. Let me see what color it is. Like a bluish. And I'm just going to kind of press down. There's my antennas. There's his face and his mouth. There's his buttons and knobs. And his legs. Let me get his arms. And now I've got a different color. But I don't want to just do a plain color. I'm going to take another color and do it right on top of that. I'm going to use yellow. I'm going to use my yellow. I'm going to lay the flat side on the paper. And I don't know if you know this, but blue and yellow make green. So I'm rubbing the crayon over the pieces that are textured on my plate to get a print. And now I have this. So you can do 2 colors if you want. Another thing you can do is slightly move your paper. So here's my print, here's my paper. I'm just going to slightly move my paper up and I'm going to do another color. I'm going to try this red. And it's going to look really interesting because I've slightly moved the paper. It's almost looking 3D. Make sure you hold your paper with one hand and the other hand you're going to create your print. Okay, so I did one color, I did 2 colors, and then I slightly moved it and did a 3rd color. Those look really nice. I'm going to put these over here. Those look cool. Also, if you don't have printer paper at home, just get old mail or things that you have lying around the house. I'm just going to go ahead and use these. I'm going to put this here. Let's see, get this out of the way. And this time I'm going to do sections of color. So I might do some of this color up here and then some of this color overlapping a little bit and over here. And then pink, I'm going to do overlapping a little bit on the yellow. It's kind of fun. You get to be creative with all these different colors. If you do not have crayons with the paper off, just go ahead and remove them. You can remove that. Oh, black. That's interesting. I'm not sure if I like that. Kind of do. Okay, and I'm going to try some red. So I want you to try different things. So this one, I'm trying different sections are different. I might even take even more and go on top. I could try moving it slightly. Maybe I'll move it a little bit more like this and try it. You know, try different colors. Maybe you want to use the rainbow colors, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and you could do a fun thing with that. Okay, but I want to see some different things. Try to make something, try to use the crayons in a way or move the paper that no one else has thought of. All right, I want at least 4. Right now I've got 1, 2, 3. I want at least 4. Before we do that, let me show you these. This is my one before. Here's this one, and I used blue and orange, and I slightly moved it. Here I used, I think, 3 colors. There's like peach, pink, and blue. And this one is all different colors. This one I want to show you what you can do. Let me put these up here. Another thing that you can do, you can take a marker, any color, and you're just going to go ahead around the edge, and you want to kind of press. You want to make sure that you get that nice and dark. You want a lot of ink, a lot of juice. Make sure you go over that. Then what you're going to do, you're going to get a brush, and you're going to dip it in some water, and you're going to take that, and you're just going to get it a little bit wet, and it takes a second for that green to start to react. But what's going to happen, I don't like that one. We'll do a different one. Let me see. Let me use. Let's start this one. And where's my brush? Where's my brush? I have brush. I have brush, and I'm going to. Oh, here it is. Okay. So let's start over. Okay, so another thing you can do after you use your crayons to make all these interesting prints, what you can do, you can take one of your prints and you can take a marker, and what you're going to do, you're going to, I'm only going to use one of these, so I'm going to fold this in half. And what you're going to do is you're just going to go around the outside edge. Kind of neat. You want it pretty juicy. Okay, if you just do it real light like that, it's not going to be enough. So make sure you go over it a couple times side to side on all the sides. And what this is going to do, we're going to add a little water. I'm going to use a brush. And this is going to be kind of like watercolor over top of your crayons. So make sure it gets nice and dark. When you're finished, you're going to use your paintbrush, and you're just going to dip it in some water. And you're just going to go over that. And it's going to take a second for your marker to react. But what's going to happen is it's going to start turning pink, kind of like watercolor. And where your crayon is, it's going to resist it. So if it's not showing up very well, you probably just need to use a little bit more ink. So I'm kind of painted the water here, and then I'm going to start moving this around. So it takes a few seconds for that the ink inside the marker to react with the water. And it's very, very light. It's not very dark. And that's just something else you could do with one of your prints. Just like that. And some marker colors work better. But that's pretty good. I kind of like it. So that's another thing you can do. So let's get started and have fun.